So today we will continue with our study, that is today we will continue with the study, that is the equilibrium. On the previous class we have discussed some theoretical part of that. Can you hear my voice clearly? Is there any problem regarding to the voice, that it cannot be understood, etc.? No problem. Okay. So okay, good afternoon everyone. So let's start. Take a pen and paper, because it will help you to concentrate on the study. Take a pen and paper, because on the last day I have discussed some problem. Maybe today also I will discuss some problem at last, but first of all we have to discuss the theoretical part which is left. Okay. So you are requested to take pen and paper, everyone. So last day I have discussed about buffer solution. About buffer solution, there was two types of buffer, that is acidic and basic buffer, and how the buffer action works. How the buffer action works is cultured in this section. That is, for example, a buffer of acetic acid and sodium acetate. Do you know the definition of buffer? Do you know the definition of buffer? If don't, then it will be the void. So I have to start with the definition. Do you know the definition of buffer? Anyone respond? As there is no response there. Yes, someone is typing. No. Yes, very good, very good. Last day I have discussed about that. So what is buffer solution? Buffer solution, that is, so first of all it is a solution which restricts the change in pH. Which restricts the change in pH. Which solution can act as a buffer? It is a mixture of weak acid and its salt. Weak acid and its salt, and mixture of weak base and its salt. Okay. So which restricts the solution, which restricts the change in pH to some extent. Now which solution can act as buffer? One is mixture of weak acid and its salt. Second one is mixture of weak base and its salt. Right? Welcome Rohit. So first example, that is weak acid and its salt. Suppose CH3COOH plus one salt of acetic acid, that is CH3COONA. So the mixture of these can work as a buffer solution. Now how they works? So first of all, acetic acid is a weak acid. Acetic acid is a weak acid forming CH3COO minus plus H plus. Now the salt is fully dissociated, because salt is a strong electrolyte. So it will produce CH3COO minus plus Na plus. Okay. Now, in the solution there is a combination of acetic acid, acetate anion H plus, here also acetate anion and Na plus. Just now took an example that we are adding base to the solution, how it restricts the change in pH. So, adding base, now base, that is here we can symbolize this OH minus. Now, what the OH minus will do? The OH minus will combine with H plus, OH minus will combine with H plus forming H2O. We know that H2O is a weak electrolyte. So, in this way you can, the pH of the medium can be restricted. In this way pH of the medium can be restricted, or in another way, if we add H plus, that is acid, then what happens? The concentration of H plus is increases in the product side. Now, we know the Le Chatelier principle, that is the concentration of H plus is increases, then reaction will move in the backward direction, that is the production of CH3COO minus will be higher. So, in this way, as CH3COOH is a weak electrolyte, so it will restrict the, in this way it will restrict the pH. So, this is the two aspect, that pH may change by adding base or adding acid. Now, the activity how they restricts the change is described in this manner. Now, second one, what is buffer capacity? Understood? Understood? Now, next one, that is buffer capacity. Buffer capacity is that to which extent that it is not that we are adding so much the volume of acid or base to a large volume, that means just about the 100 ml of concentrated HCl or 100 ml concentrated base. It is not that, it is about 10 to 20 ml of acid or base. So, what is the buffer capacity? It is the extent to restrict the change in pH. It is the extent to which restricts the change in pH. So, the capacity of buffer capacity is be defined as the solution can restrict to which extent the pH, that is it having a value that it can add the 20 ml or 25 ml of acid or 20 ml or 25 ml of base, to that extent it will restrict the pH. But above that, or if we add more acid or more base, then the buffer capacity becomes lost. What is the application of this? Application of this. Now, you have the qualitative inorganic analysis. In qualitative inorganic analysis, that is, it is generally called the general group separation, that is the separation of inorganic cations, that is calcium, sodium, potassium, magnesium, aluminum, etc. In this qualitative analysis, there we have to use such buffer capacity to restrict the change in pH. In group 3A, where we use NH4Cl, NH4OH buffer, in the group 5 there also NH4OH, NH4Cl buffer is used. In this way it can protect the change in pH, because after that addition of this buffer there we have to use some acid or base solution, and as the pH of the medium does not change, because the pH of the change will massacre the experiment. For this reason the base that is the buffer is used to restrict the pH, so that we can get the proper result, that is here results come in the form of precipitation. So, to precipitate in a I can say that it may be a point, that is at a definite pH the precipitation will occur. So, we have to maintain this pH, it is the application of buffer capacity. Next, we have to move to the what is solubility and solubility equilibrium. What is solubility? What is solubility? We have a common concept on that if we dissolving some compounds or some substances on any solvent. So, here the important terms we know, that is solute, solvent, and the combination of these, that is solution. We know the saturated solution, that the amount of the solute can be dissolved in a particular amount of solvent at a certain temperature. So, the important terms is the amount of the solvent and the particular temperature or a specific temperature. So, here the solubility is that the maximum amount of solute can be dissolved, maximum amount of solute can be dissolved in 100 gram of the solvent, 100 gram of the solvent at a specific temperature, at a specific temperature. That is amount of the solute, that is maximum amount of the solute can be dissolved at a 100 gram of the solvent, that is the maximum dissolved quantity. What is the another name of this? Can you tell me, anyone? What is the another meaning of this? The maximum dissolved quantity in a specific temperature and at a specific amount of solute solvent. Can you tell me what is this? Yes, saturation point. So, it is also called saturated solution. Very good, Saukarya. But Saukarya, it is very unfortunate for us also that you have not got your expected marks. You should be very careful because this part is more important, it will take you to the next step. Okay, so concentrate on the study because there is no direct attachment with us. So, you have to be concentrate individually, every students have to be concentrate individually because you having your board exam which will come according to its time, but the loss is for your side. Okay, so it is the solubility we have defined. Next, what is solubility product? Solubility product. So, for this we have to define some definition, that is sparingly soluble salt, sparingly soluble salt. What is sparingly soluble salt? The salts which dissolves partly in the solution or which dissolves partly in solvent, which dissolves partly in solvent or very negligible amount can be dissolved. So, these are called sparingly soluble salt. Example of this kind of salt is that it's sodium silver chloride, AgCl. So, silver AgCl, it may be called as sparingly soluble salt. Barium sulphate, the amount of barium sulphate dissolved, it is so negligible that we cannot identify the cations and anions in the solution in broad perspective. That is, when we are testing for the cations and anions, we have to test in another way, that is in micro amount. Yes, we know this is the precipitate, AgCl is the precipitate, you know it, that when in a solution of silver sulphate the sodium chloride is used, then it will precipitate in the form of AgCl. Now, barium sulphate also, that is barium chloride plus H2SO4, barium sulphate, but these are to some extent they are soluble. What is the volume, what is the amount of this? It will maybe 1 into 10 to the power minus 4 in the region. That is very micro amount. So, these are called sparingly soluble salt, right. So, for sparingly soluble salt, the concentration of the, for the, just I am writing down one example, that is AgCl, right. The AgCl, as it is a sparingly soluble salt, we may write down the equilibrium equation as Ag plus and Cl minus. So, AgCl is solid, these are in aqueous, these are also in aqueous form. Now, K, that is equal to the concentration of product, that is in aqueous, concentration of Cl minus aqueous divided by the concentration of AgCl solid, right. Now, as it is a sparingly soluble salt, so the concentration of AgCl at initial time and at the equilibrium time, the concentration of AgCl at the initial time when T was 0 and when the reaction attains equilibrium, that is at T equal to T equilibrium, the concentration is almost same. The concentration is almost same. So, the concentration may be assumed as the just a different value, that is Ag plus aqueous and Cl minus aqueous, and it is may be assumed as K dash. Now, K into K dash, or we may write K into concentration of AgCl solid, that is equal to concentration of Ag plus aqueous into concentration of Cl minus aqueous. Any confusion? K of AgCl solid or K dash, that is equal to concentration of Ag plus into concentration of Cl minus. This term is further converted or further transferred in the form of Ksp, that is equal to Kg plus aqueous Cl minus aqueous. Okay. So, this is the solubility product. So, what is the definition of solubility product? From the salt of AgCl, you can say that it is the product of the reactant, it is the product of the cations and anions formed with its concentration. It is the product of the concentration of the cations and anions, and to the power there is also there is the form that if it is the AgCl is the example, there the powers are 1, but if there is a power, then it will be take place in this place. For example, I am coming on this section. So, Ksp, that is the solubility product, is the product of the concentration of the ions on the salt in its saturated solution at a given temperature. These are very important. Rise to the power of the number of ions produced by the dissociation. So, rise to the power of the number of ions. Here number of ions 1, here also 1, here also 1. When we will come to the latter section, it will be more clear to you. Just for example, a general explanation will be AxBy. AxBy be the sparingly soluble salt. Then it can dissociate as X A Y plus Y B X minus. X A Y plus, that is number of A come with the in precedes of A to the power Y plus, and number of atom B Y to the power valency of X minus. So, for this type of salt, the Ksp can be represented as Ksp or K of AxBy can be represented as AY plus to the power x, b x minus to the power y. So, it is the general term. For example, K of AgCl, right. So, here Ag was 1 and Cl 1. So, in this form A becomes the Ag y. What is the value of y? Y equal to 1. So, Ag to the power 1, and also out of the bracket x, it is also 1. Cl minus, here it was 1 and to the power 1. In this way we can calculate how from the general equation. So, Ax by, the Ksp of Sby equal to A, the valency of y plus, that is the valency of y to the power number of A, and B, valency of A to the power number of B. For any one example, that is PbCl2. PbCl2. So, here PbCl2 is dissociated as Pb2 plus 2Cl minus. In this way it can dissociate. So, here 1, here 2, that is 2 chlorine. The valency of this Pb having the valency of 2. So, here x equal to 1 and here y equal to and to the power x. X is the number of A, that is equal to 1, y is the number, that is 2, and the valency y, Pb having valency, that is plus 2. So, it will go in the power of B, that is Cl square, and the valency of B, that is chlorine, it is equal to 1. So, further it can be transferred to the form of Pb2 plus and Cl minus square. Pb2 plus Cl minus square, because it is the valency of the previous one. Here the valency was 1 and the number of cation was here 1, here Pb was also 2. So, in this way we can calculate the solubility product. Next step, another one example you may say, that is Ag2CO3. Can you do it? What will be the solubility product? Ksp of Ag2CO3 is equal to the individual multiplication of the concentration of the products, that is Ag2 plus and CO3 minus. So, here 2Ag plus CO3 2 minus. Now, it will be easier to you, that is Ag concentration of Ag into concentrator square into concentration of CO3 minus. It is the X. The number having in the power. Clear? Another one example. Another one example you may take, that is aluminium hydroxide. Aluminium hydroxide. Aluminium atom having 1, here also 3. So, concentration of it is dissociated as Al3 plus 3OH minus. So, concentration of Al3 plus into concentration of OH minus cube. You may write it down. Iron, ferrous hydroxide, ferric hydroxide, Fe3 plus plus 3 OH minus. So, Ksp equal to concentration of Fe3 plus concentration of OH minus cube. So, very simple is that. First write down the equation and then just give it in the power as the number of the cations and anions is. Here 1, here 1, here 3, here 3. Promit, what are you saying? Don't understand this. Another one, that is, for example, copper sulphide. Copper sulphide is dissociated as Cu2 plus S2 minus. So, Ksp equal to concentration of Cu2 plus concentration of S2 minus. Okay. So, next we will move to the next equation, that is relationship between S and Ksp. Relation between Ksp and S, that is the relation between solubility product and the solubility. So, first of all, using the general equation we may do it, but it will be more simpler to you if we use with an example. Just it is for sparingly soluble salt, we may use the, suppose, barium sulphate, Ba2 plus and SO4 2 minus, right. Now, the solubility is that, the maximum amount of solute can be dissolved in the solution. So, Ksp, that is equal to Ba2 plus concentration of SO4 2 minus. Why? From our side the picture quality is okay. Just check your network connectivity and I am checking my side. Here the video quality I have just checked, it is same. Okay. Now move to the relation between solubility and solubility product. Ksp equal to, we know that it is equal to the individual concentration to the power of its number. Okay. Now just if we assume that the solubility is S, that is S mole per liter, then for such kind of cations and anions that is having the power 1, then it will be S into S, that is S square. So, Ksp equal to S square. But for different kind of solution, that is for AB2 type, it is for AB type. For AB2 type, AB2 for example it is, or AB3, just come with AB3, that is FeOH whole 3, or AB2, AB2 may be 1 by, that is Fe and FeCl2, as FeCl2 does not exist. So, we may take another one for in this place of AB3, but just start with AB3. Here it is Fe3 plus 3OH minus. We know the Ksp equal to concentration of Fe3 plus into OH minus cube. For AB3, S equal to Ksp equal to, now the concentration here if we assume is at S, then the concentration of this part will be 3 into S, just from the concept previous part, that is it is equal to S, and it is equal to 3S cube, that is 27 S to the power 4, 27 S to the power 4. So, for AB3 type, that is for iron hydroxide, it is like that, that is Fe3 plus 3OH minus. We have assumed that the solubility is S, so it becomes 3S, because 3 moles of hydroxyl ion produced. Ksp, that is equal to Fe3 plus into OH minus cube, just putting the value of S into, that is 3S cube, that is equal to 27 S to the power 4, that is equal to Ksp. So, in this way we can calculate the value of what is the relation. So, it is the relation, that is Ksp, that is equal to 27 into S to the power 4. Now, for another one, suppose Ag2CO3, Ag2CO3, AB2 type PbCl2, PbCl2. First of all, come with this here Ag 2Ag plus CO3 2 minus, it is equal to the Ksp Ag plus square into CO3 minus CO3 2 minus. Now, the concentration, that is equal to 2 Ag plus. So, the concentration is equal to 2 Ag plus square, S square into S, that is S cube. Ksp equal to S cube. For A2B type, A2B type, it is equal to Ksp equal to S cube. Which is equal to, sorry, here should be some problem, that is 2S, here S, so here it is equal to 2S square, that is equal to 4S cube. So, Ksp equal to 4S cube for Ag2CO3. For PbCl2, PbCl2 Pb2 plus 2Cl minus, Here calculate S, it is 2S. Ksp equal to Pb2 plus concentration into Cl minus square. It is S, it is equal to 2S square, that is 4S cube, 4S cube, that is equal to Ksp. So in this way we can calculate or we can derive the relation between Ksp and Sp. Tell me about this, very important one, because we have to solve some problem regarding this. Is this clear? Is this clear to you? Rifa. Okay, it will be better for you. It will be better for you if you write the equation with the class, because it will be once time repetition, once time study for you, because it is, as it is a collected form, so it will help you, because you have to search a lot to find out this. So if you write it out with me, then it will be clear to you. So you try it, try for that, try for example, I am giving one, barium hydroxide. Barium hydroxide. Now what will be the relation between Ksp and S? Tell me the relation, Ksp and S. Saukarya, those who are online, try it. Ksp and S, the relation between Ksp and S. First write down the equation, that the dissociation equation. First write down the dissociation equation. Ba whole twice Ba2 plus OH minus square, that is 2 OH minus. Now the solubility is taken as S, so it becomes 2S, and the solubility Ksp, that is equal to concentration of Ba2 plus into concentration of OH minus square. So it is equal to S, 2H equal to 2S square, that is 4S cube, that is equal to Ksp. Right? Okay, today up to this. On the next class, we will discuss on the last part of this, that is the application of sparing, that is Ksp, or application of the buffer solution in the analytical chemistry. Clear? Very good.